Oil Studios and riding on a dope set of General Tires. It's SpeedFreaks, Kenny Sargent, Crash Gladys, Richie, Cole, and Cody. Big Johnson. This isn't a show, it's a takeover, no rules, no limits, just speed, smoke, and straight talk. Strap in, Freak Nation! This is SpeedFreaks!
We already won. It's all that Black Rock. Where's the smoke at? Yeah.
Straight from SpeedFreaks news desk, we have breaking freaking news.
I just don't. No, Tony's pissing me off, man. It's like no, just the fact it's like, bro, just give a little, man, will you? Just
okay. No, well, I have to come to his defense because
hell, don't do that now. You just hammered him.
No. Well,
no.
No, that was not. That was not. But I will share this because Tony has only changed 2.5 diapers in 16 months.
Come on!
I know. Here's the fun part. He doesn't know that yet. You guys are the first ones to know. I can't wait to drop that on him.
Straight from SpeedFreaks news desk, we have breaking freaking news.
What exactly is Leah Pruett going to drop here in the Freak Nation in the next 30, 45 minutes that we couldn't air at the top of the show, Freak Nation? If you can't get past that fantastic breaking news open that we had there, Freak Nation, then you might as well turn this damn thing off. I've got to
Is Queen back? I mean, back from the dead?
It was kind of who's the guy that yeah,
it's Adam Lamb.
No. Who's the guy? Brooke starts with a B. Oh, we got the fantastic.
Boone?
Yeah.
Oh, Benson Boone.
Benson Boone.
Yeah.
What are you looking at me like that for?
I don't
Not your guy?
Hell no.
Oh, is he the one that does the flips?
I think I've ever heard that one song on the radio.
backflips.
Is he? He's got a killer voice. Whatever.
Yeah, that's the only thing I know him from. He does the backflips.
All right. Well, that might be him doing the breaking news segment. Therefore, Freak Nation. That's the kind of news day it is here when it comes to motorsports on a horsepower hump day.
Yeah, we can just wrap up the show now at 2:03 and be done because there ain't to talk about today. That's for sure.
Well, look, Richie.
Hey, thanks for tuning in the show, everybody.
We had the breaking news there. We've got to stick around to share the breaking news of what Leah Pruett is evidently. Let me back this up just a second, Freak Nation. Leah Pruett sat in these studios for about an hour when she was out here last weekend for the Arizona Nationals. And we spent about 65 minutes with her. And there's so much that she drops in this interview. And a lot of it has to do with her husband, Tony Stewart. You heard Crasher there talk about, what? He's only changed, 2 diapers?
She said 2.5. I would like to know how they came up with that half diaper.
Right.
But, okay.
All right. So coming up in the show, she broke news here in the Freak Nation last week. I don't know if she already broke that to Tony between now and last Thursday when she was in here. Regardless, if she hasn't, I hope typically Tony Stewart does drop anything that he's doing on a Wednesday afternoon and watches the Freaks. So he'll get it first here in the Freak Nation. Cole, you weren't part of that interview. You have any idea what she's going to bust on us coming up?
Nope.
Can you guess what it might be?
Honestly, no.
Yeah.
I have not a single clue.
All right.
That was a good tease, though.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Again, Freak Nation, that's where we roll this afternoon when there's not a whole hell of a lot of things going on involving motorsports.
I feel like you just adopted Conan O'Brien's former editing crew because he used to do crazy opens for segments like that.
Hey, I am such a supporter for AI that I went onto my Sono AI app.
Oh, my gosh. Here we go.
Crash, if I said I'd love to have gold in my house to where I can cash in and buy us yachts, you would say, just so you could be cool with these guys, oh, that sucks, but Kenny, we don't want to have lots of money.
No. The thing is, AI has been a big deal in racing circles.
Absolutely.
Recently.
I wrap my arms around it, man.
I know you're in the minority there.
How do you know?
Because people
everybody
on
knows.
social media hate. They have allowed their hatred for AI to be quite vocal over the last 2 months.
Listen, there's product online, there's product on radio stations and TV stations where, frankly, they need AI to improve their freaking product. I know Matt Weaver got popped by calling somebody out regarding AI. Anyway, let me get back to the story.
Yeah, but hold on. Hold on. Don't throw that out there without us talking about it. He got popped by a speedway, but what did he get popped for? He just called him out. Right.
Yeah.
But then they revoked his credentials and the credentials of everybody at motorsport.com. Why?
Okay.
Yeah, that's wild.
Okay.
That's really wild.
Before I forget what the hell I was going to say, I have an app called the Sono app, which, again, like our show intro, that's how we got our show intro. So what I put in there for the Sono app to, again, give me a breaking news open was I said I need breaking news music. And then they said, well, the problem was when they said lyrics. I should have said, do not sing, just state this in so-and-so voice. So I said, breaking news segment, and this is what I want. SpeedFreaks breaking freaking news. And then freaking Benson Boone pops out singing our breaking news segment. There you go. Yeah, that was an AI fail, but regardless.
No.
Yeah, it worked.
That's Conan O'Brien used to do super cheesy things like that. That's what that reminded me.
I wouldn't have aired it if it wasn't super cheesy, Crasher.
No,
That's
you
how we
are right.
roll
Yeah.
here in the Freak Nation. All right, so what are we hitting for topics today, guys?
I got some for you.
All right.
I got some news and notes to get to.
Hot damn.
Coming up in a little bit, Cole promised me he's going to be watching the Formula One Grand Prix in Japan this weekend.
Hell yeah.
And I call bullshit to that, so we're
Right.
going to get to that, and Cole's going to explain why he's going to be watching.
Okay.
And again, I don't think he is. I think he's lying to me, just to get on my good side, so I don't call him out for anything else. Okay, so last week on this Horsepower Humpday show, we were talking about one of the big stories was the shoving match, the exchange of words between Daniel Suarez and Ross Chastain. Well, speaking of Matt Weaver, he has an article up on motorsport.com where he went and he asked a bunch of drivers about what NASCAR can do or shouldn't do regarding their policy around fighting on pit road after races. I want to read my favorite quote from this entire article here, because right now it is a $75,000 fine if you throw a punch at another driver on pit lane after a race.
And when was that implemented?
That was implemented, it doesn't say.
Sorry, I didn't mean to catch you off guard. It's
Yeah.
just I don't remember it being that high just a couple of years ago.
It didn't used to be that
Yeah.
way, but remember, because it was like boys have had it for a while, you can
Right.
do whatever you want. But I don't. It doesn't say here in the article when it was implemented. Just the last time there was a fine for it was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. when he punched Kyle Busch at the All-Star race a couple years ago.
That was a couple years ago. Okay.
Yeah, that was in 2024.
And was that a $75,000
That was
fine?
$75,000
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah. And so my favorite quote in this article is from Austin Dillon, and he said this. He said, "Well, if you're mad enough to want to fight, $50,000 shouldn't stop you. I don't know. It's all subjective, and I don't care to get into it. I hope I don't have to be in that situation, truthfully. Sometimes frustration is carried out to the racetrack, and there are certain other ways to handle things, and NASCAR makes the rules, so I don't know." So Cole and I got into this a little bit last week about kind of the rules regarding this, but I would say that NASCAR would be smart if they just got rid of this completely and just be like, listen, if you want to fight on pit road, have at it, because that's better for our sport and a better sales job for our sport than having to punish drivers $75,000 for throwing a punch.
And I thought they were going back to their roots.
Yeah.
What happened
Yeah.
to hell yeah?
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. Yeah.
Didn't this hell no?
About that 500 all those years ago, that
Yeah.
brought NASCAR into the stratosphere.
1979. Yeah.
I think there's a few things to take into account here. If NASCAR is going to use these fights to promote the sport for commercials and all that, they shouldn't be throwing out these $75,000 fines. So that's number one. And I don't know. I just think it's somebody went on Holler Talk last week, I believe it was, and said that the main reasoning why they are against the fighting is because they don't want drivers to get hurt. There's, they're fighting on concrete, asphalt, whatever. These guys are racing cars at 180 miles an hour.
Exactly.
What are we talking about safety for when it comes to fighting? Like,
Because there's no soft walls in fighting.
okay, so make it hockey rules. They drop to the ground, that's it. The fight's over. The officials get in the middle of it, and it's done. So if you're going to promote the sport by showing clips of fighting, then you should not be giving out at least a fine of $75,000. If you want to make it like $25,000, sure, but like that just seems excessive to me.
So they're using fighting in promotions.
Well, yeah, they've had like the Gregson getting punched by Chastain and stuff like that.
You
so
can't do that if you're fining them for it.
Yeah,
So you're
exactly.
saying, no, but hey, let's use it.
A quick Google search says that Ricky Stenhouse was the first one to get a $75,000 penalty.
Okay.
And that was May 22nd, 2024.
It was 2020. Yeah, it was the All-Star race because we went live. That happened live on our show, Cody.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I've heard this many times. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I think it actually happened just before we went live, and we had the entire show ready to go, our rundown, and then we took a look at it and we ripped that to shreds and said, "Thank you very much, Ricky Stenhouse, for programming our show for the next 2 hours."
That was minutes before we went
Yeah.
live, and I remember you and I looking at each other going, "Done." That's when we were on MAV TV, right?
I've heard that exact same scenario out of Richie's mouth probably 10 times.
It's a great story, though, Cody.
But let's think about
It is.
this. Has anyone had, not a knockdown drag out, but has anyone had a significant fight in the pits since Stenhouse's fine?
No, not really.
So the fine is working.
Right?
Yeah, there's been
Well,
some skirmishes.
Was the Chastain Gregson thing that same year or the year after? I can't remember.
That's a great
It might have been
point.
the year
When
after,
did that
but
happen
yeah,
to
I don't think
Coda?
there have been any like significant fights other than maybe that Chastain Gregson.
That
one
was
after
May
that.
7th, 2023.
Holy
Oh,
smokes.
year
Gregson one?
before.
What
Yeah.
the hell? Jesus.
So Chastain
Freaking
got
old.
no fine for that freaking cross, right? Right?
That I don't know.
Maybe a baby fine.
There's no talk of fine on this Google search.
Got it.
Interesting. Well, I guess that fine then for Stenhouse did its job, unfortunately.
Yeah, there is, unfortunately.
But like you think back to like even like the 2010s, like you had these fights with like Jeff Gordon and Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, Carl Edwards, like Clint Boyer and Jeff Gordon. There was all these awesome moments that you think back on. And it's like that was NASCAR. Now you have nothing. So bring it back, guys. Come on, boys, have at it.
You can't say you're going back to your roots and then sticking with a $75,000 fine for a fight. Nope. What do you want? You want to go back to your roots? That includes some fighting.
Well, outside of hockey, give me one other sport that advocates fighting.
Advocates it. No one
The
advocates
United
it.
Fighting Championship.
Well, yeah, outside of the those types of.
That's why you're not on camera, Cody.
Thank you for that.
I mean, it's true. And the thing is, you don't want to like manufacture these fights. Obviously, it has
You
to come
don't.
organically. So I don't know.
But with the $75,000 fine potential hanging over your head, you will never again see Jeff Gordon running through Phoenix Raceway's pits and garages to try to get Clint Boyer.
That was the other way around.
Exactly.
Oh, was it the other way
Oh, yeah,
around?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Clint going after
But
Jeff.
I think we talked about this on the other Humpday where you guys weren't here. I'm pretty sure anyway. Like benches clearing brawls in the MLB. Like
Yeah.
back in the day, the 80s, there'd be literally fists flying, kicks being thrown. Now it's like they clear the dugouts, they jaw off, and they go back. So there's no like fighting anymore in these bench clearing brawls. So
That has everything to do with money.
yeah,
You
yeah,
crack
of
some
course.
guy's jaw and he can't make the next freaking 7 or 8 games because his jaw's dislocated. Well, the Phillies lose 7 games in a row, which wouldn't suck,
Oh, that'd be great.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that is going back to what NASCAR is saying. We don't want our guys to get injured. Even though they
understand some of
drive
that.
cars almost 200 miles an hour and
maybe
hit walls.
they can implement a penalty box.
That would be amazing.
5 minutes for fighting.
The penalty pit box.
Yes. You're onto something. I would love to see that. Have big security guy go in the box.
You know, you look at the dynamics of racing, and again, I'm not trying to compare it to, well, okay, I'm comparing it to other sports where the Washington Commanders see the Cowboys twice a year versus Kyle Larson and Ricky Stenhouse see each other for 36-plus races. So that also weighs into, do I really want to level this guy that I'm going to see next weekend at an appearance that we have at Bass Pro together?
Right.
You got to think about those things. But at the same time, we've had this discussion for 26 years, how it's incredible that these drivers hop out of a race car for 3.5 hours and we jam microphones right in their face. There is very little cushion for those guys to process that they're out of a race car and just to let their freaking brain breathe. But no,
true.
Cole Cusimano's jamming a freaking Sennheiser in their mouth going, what was it like to get that third place 22nd car, man?
It's true, though, man. Like, I was thinking about that after we did our 2-seater at IndyCar. Like,
Yep.
these guys are going for 3 hours and just getting thrown back in their seats, going through all these motions of the competition. And then they have to put together these well-thought-out answers for the media directly after all this going on. So that's a great point.
You don't just, and this has been my MO for as many years as I've been on radio and TV, is please don't ask me to give you more than a paragraph of conversation before going live. I don't like that. I'm just uncomfortable. The anxious moments that I have to make sure that Richie's got everything plugged in and Cody's, cleaned up a little bit before we put him on camera, and that Crasher and I've settled all of our differences.
That never happens.
After the show, I'm better. But before the show, I have that anxiety that we think that maybe drivers do that they've got to overcome after getting in a freaking race car. But I'm just sitting on a damn set with a microphone in front of me. So what does that make me, Cole? Kind of a wuss?
I don't think so.
All right.
It means you care.
Yeah.
It means you care.
Here's one last little nugget from Brad Keselowski, which I thought was pretty great. He said, if something happens on the track and it's in the top 5 or top 10, that seems pretty reasonable. If it's for 25th, those guys should not be allowed to fight. That is a waste of time, and it's not interesting and makes everyone look bad. So this would be like Riley Herbst and Cody Ware going at it.
It could have been Riley Herbst and Connor Zilic last week.
Yes. That's true.
One of the most popular posts that we get, and anybody else that posts this, and I don't care what it pertains to, this in particular, NASCAR, the most punchable face in NASCAR is who, Cody, for you? Who's got the most punchable face?
This is really on the spot, but I'm going to have to go Ty Gibbs.
Okay. I would think a lot
Ty
of people...
Gibbs is becoming more popular in that area, I believe.
I would think a lot of people agree with you, including some in the media.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Maybe some people who work for Gibbs, too.
Sure.
Gay part indeed.
Hey,
Former employee.
I'm on the Ty Gibbs bandwagon now.
Oh, yeah, you had him in your picks last weekend, right?
Yeah. So we have the Chase Sexuals. I need to come up with a name for us Ty Gibbs fans now. Yeah.
Us Ty Gibbs fans.
Yeah. I don't know, because he's sponsored by Monster a lot, so maybe we tie it into Monster. I don't know. Gibbs.
It's right over your shoulder.
Gibbsatron.
Oh, yeah.
Gibbsatrons. Gibbsaholics.
But you don't drink Monster.
The Gibbs boys.
Would that convert
Gibbs
you to
fellas.
drinking Monster?
Gibbs me all your lovin'. Sorry.
Here we go. Gibby's Groupies.
Oh.
There we go.
A little iCarly shout out there, too.
There we go. Yeah, I told everybody, and I picked him on the money stop last week, and I picked him in my picks this last week as well. So
he was running top 5 for quite a while. How did he finish?
4 straight top 10s,
10s,
3 straight top 5s
10s.
before that.
I will never bet on that guy. Literally, the most punchable face for me is Noah Gragson. It is the most punchable. He just got the face just says punch me. It does. Crasher, your most punchable face in NASCAR.
I'm Gibbs too, because I'm trying to think of somebody else besides Gibbs, because Gibbs just is a whiner.
You've got to pick some. Okay, you got to pick somebody different than Gibbs. He already picked Gibbs. The most punchable face, and it could be one of your favorite drivers, Crasher.
I know, and it might be.
Just the physical makeup of Noah, for me, it's just, it has a lot to do with the fact that guy never wants to have a good time in the Freak Nation when you know damn well he kicks some ass in here. What about you, Cole, while she's thinking?
Trying to go through the teams here. Riley Herbst. Yeah.
Yeah.
Riley Herbst.
What was it?
I wish we had that picture, that infamous picture of him with the little backpack.
What?
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that one?
Wait.
It's the one. Yeah, Cody has it saved in his freaking photo album.
Wait, who? Riley Herbst?
Riley Herbst. Yeah.
With his backpack.
Yeah, it's like he's walking the garage here. He's got a backpack on and the look on his face. You've seen this. If Cody pulls it
Probably.
up, I'm gonna keep
there's-
running my mouth until Cody pulls it up because I know Cody's got it saved in his favorites album, and he's shared it in our stinking group chat before.
He has
So-
another picture too of me and Riley Herbst that he never shared with the group. Actually,
Oh,
remember that?
All right, Crasher. Someone that we haven't picked. Most punchable face in NASCAR.
Chase Elliott.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, not a
Elliott.
chase sexual, huh?
Damn.
No, definitely not a chase
I
sexual.
like that.
But
Wow.
yeah.
okay.
Let's
Wow.
just go. I would punch him if I could. Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I yeah.
Would you?
Yeah.
Dang.
I'll just never
Really?
forget the time being there for the media day it wasn't Chase at the time. It was playoffs 2 years ago, and all the drivers are coming in. Media flocks to every single driver. He was the only one that media did not flock to. And I kind of put my phone up and took a picture of it real nonchalantly. Like,
Yep.
nobody's going to Chase Elliott right now because everybody is done with Chase Elliott. Maybe the fans aren't, but the media has a different perspective.
Yeah, another one of those guys like Ty Gibbs, but not as bad that where like he just gives very like corporate PC answers.
Yep.
Doesn't give you a whole lot. Yeah, he has his days, but it's kind of bland.
And I've gotten over what we started first with SpeedFreaks was just dropping crazy, well, at the time, crazy questions to motorsports stars that had zero to do with nuts and bolts and tire pressure. And the majority of the drivers appreciated it. It was fresh. They enjoyed those type of questions. They got tired of talking splitters and this and that. But there were always the drivers that were just still a bit uncomfortable asking them outside something of those margins of the garage. And I think the last time I talked to Chase Elliott, it was something that completely off of racing, and it was a decent answer.
Oh.
It was a decent answer.
You had a good Chase.
Yeah, I had a good Chase, but it was still like, whoa. AJ Allmendinger would have had a better answer than that, but I considered that a win with Chase.
Yeah, okay.
Because when you have a very popular driver, Chase Elliott, a NASCAR champion, a guy that, again, we know what he means to the series, but when you have the major media outlets for NASCAR not going up to Chase for a little bit of Q&A, that just shows you. It's like, we're done. He's not going to give us anything. Mm-hmm. Not.
He's not going to give us anything that will punch tickets. His name might, but the answers won't.
All right, those photos are ready. Would you like to see the
All
prize
right,
possessions?
so set it
Let's
up.
go.
Plural.
Set it up again.
Well,
I'm gonna get in trouble
Put
for
yourself
this
on
one.
the camera.
Cole and I were cruising through the fan zone at Phoenix, and we happened to see a young Riley Herbst hanging out, and he wanted to show his displeasure. So here we are.
Jesus.
Oh my goodness! Yes.
Yep.
All right.
That
And
didn't
then-
make the group folder.
Here is the infamous picture that Richie brought up with the backpack.
Yeah, there we go.
What is that about?
What is up
Riley,
with those
come on,
eyes?
babe.
That's why I always say he looks scared.
He's
Yeah.
like disheveled. And yeah.
No, he looks like he's seen a ghost there. That's what that is
Sam
right there,
Darnold's
man.
got out. Yeah.
Dang.
That is interesting.
Well, again, to his defense, tell me you guys weren't caught off guard at some photos and you look completely
Oh,
just,
yeah.
Of course.
right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if
Some.
I'm gripping my backpack like that. Right?
I don't know if my eyes ever got that big in a photo. I don't know. I don't know.
So did we
Wow.
take that picture of Riley, or was that just
No,
on,
this
online?
is from. I think this is like post race. Like somebody was doing went and talked to him after something had happened in a race, and this was the screenshot of that post race interview.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So he was mid sentence right there.
I think so.
Because his mouth is in a funky position. Okay.
All right, to try and put a bow on this, what I believe NASCAR should do, and again, it's not something that they want to sit at the dais at Martinsville and talk about. You know what? We're not going to fine the guy $75,000. We'll start it at $25,000, and then we'll. You know what you don't hear anymore is taking him to the big red hauler.
That was Winston.
Winston, yeah,
days.
but
Even
okay, you take him to the
Nextel or
big black
Sprint.
haul or whatever.
The
You
big
just-
red truck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't.
Truck,
You,
yeah.
you don't have those. You don't have the Mike Helton conversations.
Exactly.
Those uncomfortable conversations that they had back in the day. Anyway, maybe they just say, "Hey, we're gonna we're going to find the guys. It's going to be based on the severity of the punch.
Oh,
and
but
why
then
they
you
did
have
it.
Drivers getting so upset. Well, how come he got 30,000 and this punch was worth more? No, that's too subjective.
It happens on a road course. It's all subjective.
What if they just took like pit stall selection away for the next race?
That could be, yeah.
That actually matters
Right.
more.
Instead of money.
Good call. Good call.
So there you go, Freak Nation. We have solved absolutely nothing.
No, the pit stall
We did.
selection at the end of that entire conversation
Okay.
made sense.
That applies to the penalty pit box, too, that we talked about
there you
earlier.
go.
There you go.
That
All about the
definitely
pits.
does.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's you know what? And it's sponsored by Jack's Bail Bonds.
By UFC?
Only if they can take away the stage cautions. Only if. So then that sponsorship that they would lose there, bring it into the fighting realm. Please.
What are you talking about?
Sponsoring the pit box?
Oh,
Yeah.
you still sponsor. They still got to go to the freaking Jack's Bail Bonds. And just they've got to wear freaking prison outfit, fire suit, man.
Boy, I like that.
There we go, Freak Nation. Richie, would you mind checking our good friend Jeff Gluck's poll on Darlington?
Yeah, it was 77%.
Yeah, that's what.
Yes.
Now, here's a thought. 77% for Darlington, that it was a good race. When I saw that, I thought, isn't that just about an average Darlington race versus if it was 90% or 95%? If you're just comparing that race just in general to a race. Am I making my point here? It was Darlington a good race? 77%.
So you want to
I would say so.
pair up all Darlingtons of the last 5 years.
Yeah.
He usually puts a stat out there for
Yeah.
that.
I got it.
there
for
you go. All right.
77.2% said yes. Ranks 12th of 18 Darlington races.
Good.
Ranks 7th of 9 next-gen races, which is crazy. The only two lower were both of last year's races. And it ranks number 5 of the 12 Tyler Reddick wins.
I think you're making my point. 77% saying Darlington was a good race. It's just an average Darlington race. Because you said it was at 12th, Richie?
Of 18.
It was 12th of 18 in the poll.
All right. When were like the top 2 or 3? What years? Do they have the years on there? It doesn't.
It doesn't say. I'd have to
right.
look it up real quick.
Because, again, that's how I felt about that race. And, again, we talked about that again Sunday night, and we don't need to belabor the point, but just the fact that it's at 77 versus 90%, 95%. And, again, Cole Cusimano, I don't know what you're seeing. That's just basically what – it's not like people – we don't have anything to talk about other than this with Darlington today. There's no
I
reverberations.
agree.
There's nothing bouncing off those walls like we were hoping cars would for us to continue that conversation. Did you see this? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Why did this
One
happen?
was in 2020 and one was in 2022. And both of those, the Darlington 2 in 2020, 93.8%. Darlington 2 in 2022, 93.5%. Don't remember a damn thing about either of those races.
Yeah, me either.
One was won by Tyler Reddick. Or, never mind. Sorry. One was Denny Hamlin and Eric Jones were the winners in those races.
Okay. Well, I mean, I was saying this last week, though, or on Sunday. It was like, if you're a casual fan or someone who's watching for the first time, those first 2 stages did not move the needle for you. It was just very boring. And plus, when it started to get interesting, you had the stage cautions that broke up the action. So it didn't really pick up until the final stage. And it was billed as this, complete gauntlet where you're going to have guys blowing tires and getting in the wall. They're going to be out of control. And it really wasn't that at all for the entire race. So, I mean, I agree with the masses here on this one. It was an average Darlington race. It was, I liked it, but not like great.
I just, again, typically you think when something's 70 or above, it's great versus just average. But a 77% Darlington is really just an average freaking Darlington.
Yes.
Right?
Based on past
Pretty much.
scores.
Now, how much leeway do we give Martinsville this weekend?
Well, if I
Right?
remember correctly, Martinsville 2 years ago spring race was not voted very highly. So I
They
don't
usually
think,
aren't.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't think the Martinsville scores are coming in as being high. And there's no hype in heading into this race like there was for Darlington last week. So maybe we will be surprised, and the score of the voters post-race will be higher than expected because the baseline is so low right now.
Well, I will say this. There's 0 college basketball on Sunday. We'll already know who's going to be running into the national championship on Monday. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Yay.
No, we do have games
that's
on
right.
Sunday.
Sorry,
Yeah.
we do. Sorry, it's the next weekend when the championship. All right, well, there you go. Sorry about that. Because again, if you watched the Sunday night on FS2, you saw and heard what my emotions were about the damn race. Those first 2 stages, Cole just said it, man. It's just like enough already. And then finally, 90 laps, 80 laps to go, it finally sucked me back in, and I watched that damn race. But again, this is Martinsville. This is old school NASCAR. This is what they want. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is what they want. No. Having a caution for a stage break is not hell yeah.
400 laps.
No.
I'm talking about short track. That's how
Short
NASCAR was.
track.
I'm not
Yeah.
talking about the
Okay.
actual
Short track routes. Yeah.
The short track routes, yes.
And
without question.
I think it's similar to Darlington in a sense too, because like the racing there is definitely not the most watchable. But like Darlington, I appreciate all that goes into winning these races and how hard it is to race at Martinsville. So there's that element to it, but there's also the new rules package that's going to be debuted there as well. So that could help things out. You never know. I don't think it's going to be as noticeable as like Phoenix probably, probably Phoenix because there's not really that much banking, but you never know. That's something to watch out for.
Well, and finally, Richie, we got IndyCar back on. We had a week off. We got IndyCar at Barber Motorsports Park coming up this weekend, and I'm going to drop something on Sunday night that Cole so kindly got some numbers on. The last, let's say, Crash 24, 25, 26, the last 3 years of the first 4, 5, or 6 races, depending on the series, of NASCAR and IndyCar.
Okay.
Right? Mm-hmm. And I'm just curious where these numbers are going because when you go back to the weekend before last when IndyCar ran in Texas, and we know what Barber Motorsports Park can do. Mm-hmm. You know, there can be some bangers, as the kids like to say, but a lot of times it's just that you pick and choose. But the way Dallas came across and just freaking shined, I'm curious now with where Fox is now on the leaderboard with these races, how they will present Barber, if there's going to be a different aesthetic to it.
Do you know something?
I don't know something. All I'm saying is I am freaking jacked about the IndyCar season because of the first 3 races they've had.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm freaking
over $1 million for the first
ecstatic.
3 races is something to be very excited
and
about.
the initial numbers that Cole dropped on me are bananas. Mm-hmm. How they've doubled in ratings.
Yeah.
Doubled in ratings. And
hold on real quick before you move on. Funny how that works.
Right.
Now, not having a month off at the beginning of your schedule, yes, this is what you're supposed to do. Race, and then race, and then race. Or at least get in a pattern that is consistent. Race, week off, race, week off, race, week off. Just something better than what they've had in the past. Shocker, it's working.
So, again, my point is I hope to get deeper into those numbers that Cole so kindly dropped on me earlier today that I want to use Sunday night because we're going to have Barber and completely different race, Martinsville, to compare against each other. Again, a race that's 2 hours versus a race that, Richie, can be how long at Martinsville?
It's 400 laps,
There you
so
go.
it's going to be way, way too long.
Yep.
It's a half-mile track. It's not going to be that long.
400 laps at Martinsville, it feels like...
It's like 20-second laps.
Dude, okay, hold on. Let me look this up because I can
go
look
to
it
the
up.
last race, yeah.
Let me look it up and look. Okay, I'm pretty sure last year had to have been way over 3 hours. Okay, let me see. Cup Series. Okay, let's come down over this. This is great television here. Okay, here we go. 2026.
Time duration, Martinsville, spring races.
It should be like 200 laps, and then we're good. That's like the max at these tracks. Okay, here we go.
Wait, is it a mile track or a half
No,
mile
it's a
track?
half mile.
It's a half
Yeah.
mile. So the paperclip.
Okay, here we go. Here's Martinsville Cookout 400 last year. Race results. Here we go. 400 laps. It took 3 hours and 5 minutes.
3 hours.
Eh.
Okay.
2 hours.
At least it's not 4 hours.
Hey, that's it.
Didn't this race used to be 500 laps too?
Well, that's the fall race.
Oh,
Oh, you mean both? You mean both races?
I thought they used to be both 500.
I think they used to be actually. Yeah, I think you're right.
Damn.
So anyway, getting back to my point was, again, you've got IndyCar going up against NASCAR. Not necessarily, I don't think they are as far as the race times, but as far as comparisons of what you're going to see on TV, Freak Nation. I want you guys to comment on Sunday night when we get into that discussion, comparing the two, when it comes to really just the aesthetics and the call of the race. Again, both of them are on Fox. We talked a little bit about that Sunday night, just the difference in what Hinch, Bell, and Buxton do with Joy, Harvick, and Boyer.
Somebody's asking what's wrong with the 3-hour race.
I agree.
It's too long.
Okay, but part of motorsports is endurance, especially in NASCAR. That's my biggest thing.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You want to know why? Okay, I've said this for a long time. If you care about endurance, go race in WC and go race in IMSA. If you want a 3-hour, 4-hour race, go do that.
Like we say one thing we appreciate about IndyCar is all the different disciplines. You have 6 road courses, 6 street circuits, and 6 ovals. You would, in my opinion, I also want to see the different disciplines in the length of a race. I think you need to have the 600 as long as that freaking Coca-Cola 600 is. I think it needs to stay because it's one of a kind. Daytona 500 needs to stay the same. Maybe a couple of other 500 milers, but I don't think every Sunday needs to be 3 to 4 hours. So I do like shorter races as long as you keep some of the jewels that are 3 to 4 hours.
Says 3 hours is not an endurance race, which...
It's not an endurance race, but it's still it's longer than an IndyCar race. It's longer than an F1 race.
Yeah, exactly. And I say that's way too long. My attention span. Listen, I just turned 35 about a month and a half ago. Okay, 3 hours is to watch at Martinsville and some of these other oval places. It just drones on and on, dude. We've had this discussion over and over again, and I'll never get it through to anybody's heads, which is just like these races are just way too long. Darlington's the perfect example. That race did not get good until the final hour.
Okay, that's valid. That's valid,
right?
Especially for new eyeballs.
Why do we need that extra 2.5 hours? That's whatever. That's the perfect reason why I think IndyCar is being so successful this year. Is number one, you have a lot of these road courses and street courses, which are so much more visually appealing than a lot of your ovals and NASCAR, et cetera, et cetera. But when you're in and out at 2.5 hours, that's your show. Perfect example of that, Kenny. Last night, Cody and I were watching High Limit Racing. Yeah. You know how long that show was from start to finish? 2 hours. You're in, you're out. You get a bunch of really good racing, some little bit of fill, but it felt like it was over like that. And that's what I want. I want my fans wanting more. I do not want people to tune in and go, oh, I'm so glad that's over. Thank God. I want that to end.
That's where I'm headed with what Cole is saying. And again, I don't watch Major League Baseball until maybe the World Series, second round of the playoffs, maybe. Mm-hmm. Same with basketball. NFL's talking 18 games now. Ugh. But when you have 36 freaking races, I can't do it. I can't do 3 or 4 hours every freaking Sunday. Yeah, if there's 18 or there's 20, absolutely, because every Sunday I know that this NFL game freaking matters. And I know that college football, that they're playing 12 games, I know that it freaking matters. But race 4 out of 36, it just doesn't, it's not a big deal to me. Supercross, same way. NHRA, the same way. There's just not, and even the executives with NASCAR have brought that up, and maybe shortening the season.
Yeah, they're definitely talking about that.
Yeah, and make it freaking matter. I'll stick around for the 600 if it's one of 25 races.
Yeah. Not every race needs, like you said, not every Sunday needs to be 3 hours long.
You know, maybe that's my fault that I'm a fan of all kinds of sports. Cole Cusimano.
And I'm confused on that.
No, you hammer soccer, you hammer college basketball, you hammer college baseball, football.
We need to what we need to do? We need to make sure we have Cole make a World Cup bracket.
Oh.
So that way he gets invested in the World Cup this year.
I watch the big four pro sports. I watch NASCAR. I watch IndyCar. I watch freaking tennis. So because I don't watch college sports or soccer, I don't like sports.
Okay. That's okay. I don't watch tennis because of how long things take in tennis.
They do.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm done. I can't sit there and just watch it.
But it's endurance, man. We're going 6 sets, baby.
It's freaking tough, man.
I'll watch Wimbledon.
I respect the hell what they do there.
Yes.
I'll watch Wimbledon.
Well, yeah. Like
You'll watch
like
one of the
the
slams.
Of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
of course. No, I get that.
But I won't watch a random tennis match.
No, I get that for sure.
Yeah,
But still, make my point. Yeah, I still watch. I watch all sports.
So if Palm Springs, what do they call that one with the tennis? What do they usually
Indian
call it?
Wells?
Yeah. What if they? So Indian Wells.
Mm-hmm.
Will you intentionally tune in to watch that?
Yeah, I'll pop in and out. It depends who's playing, honestly. Yeah, like I follow certain players.
But tennis was always that. It depends on who's freaking playing, and it's either you appreciate their game or you appreciate the fact that this guy's going to smash a racket on the center line ref.
Yeah, exactly.
That's again. That was my upbringing. But to try and bring it back, I could sit through a three-hour race and not sit here and complain about it if there weren't 36 of them.
There you go.
And I think that's just been my MO for my entire freaking life. And did I say that Sunday night about how Supercross races or motocross races, it's 20 minutes plus one, or NHRA, it's 4 seconds. And I was never conditioned to sit down and watch 36 NASCAR races until I started SpeedFreaks.
Well,
Yeah, there you go.
you know how to make them shorter? Take out the stage breaks.
Thank you.
There were 2 cautions besides that last week at
Right.
Darlington, so
Right.
I don't know what we're doing.
But you nailed it also. And that's getting a lot of traction on social media, too. Our
Sure
arguments from Sunday night about get rid of the freaking breaks. If you need stages so badly to tally up points, fine. But get rid of those cautions because of the time waste that comes with it.
Yeah.
But, Cole, you nailed it when you said stage 1 and stage 2 were just getting ready to get exciting when, boom, the caution hits. And it's like, really? Really? A manufactured stop in the action when the action was just getting good. Make it make sense.
Freak Nation coming up. Leah Pruett breaks some news with her husband, Tony Stewart. We spent an hour in the studio with her, and we're going to drop some of that interview coming up here in moments. But to get back to more of the NASCAR conversation, and I knew I was going to lose that thought. Holy smokes. There was another breaking news, something else that dropped. Did I see it with Matt Weaver today? He posted this. It wasn't having to do with stages. It wasn't having to do with race lengths. It was something else. Damn it. That's what happens, man.
That happens.
Yeah. There was another thought when it came to NASCAR. Okay, Martinsville. We got this. Sorry, I'm going to freaking tap dance. By the way, you like my new kicks? You know I got those, Cole?
Longhorns.
Yeah. Do you know Longhorns, what they are? They're college.
Texas?
Yeah, they're college.
Yeah, okay.
College football.
Yeah. I know the college is. I just don't like it. Very anti-college.
Why do you not like college
anti-university.
sports?
I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy the turnover of players. I'll see them when they go pro. I hate the whole college system in general. I think it's all a big scam, and community's fine, but universities,
Right. So, but if you had to cheer for one college, who would it be?
I guess ASU because I went there.
No, there you go.
But I mean, I really don't care. Rutgers.
So, were you not watching the Texas ASU game on New Year's last year?
2 years ago. Oh, yeah.
I might have been.
Right.
Whatever. That one game where Scatterboo went crazy, I did watch that game.
What game did he not go crazy? He did go crazy in that Texas game.
That might have been it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll pop in and out if like my family is watching it, but I really do not give one crap about college sports.
Okay. But you watch a 3-hour Martin.
There is one thing, I teased this earlier in the show, there is one thing that Cole allegedly is going to watch this weekend.
I am.
Which I call bullshit because I think he's lying. Cody, can you bring up the pictures here? Now this, what you're about to see is a brand new livery that was introduced this week because Formula One is in Japan, Suzuka this weekend. Haas has a new partnership with Toyota this year, and so they're one of the title sponsors of the team. America's team, Haas, the smallest team on the Formula One grid, believe it or not. And so they put out this livery. There it is.
Yes.
Check that out. Godzilla, baby.
I need that diecast. By
That
the way.
is pretty
like
freaking
that.
badass.
Actually, that is
It's amazing.
really cool.
Now, Cole has said earlier today that he is going to tune in and watch the Formula One Japanese Grand Prix because of this livery.
Yeah.
And I call bullshit. There is no chance in hell. First of all, you don't even have Apple TV, so you can't even watch.
I have Apple TV. You know why I have Apple TV? To watch Monarch Legacy of Monsters, a Godzilla show.
Godzilla.
I'm a massive, massive Godzilla fan.
Is that worth it? I saw the tease for it yesterday with Kurt Russell.
I'm way behind.
All right.
But it's gotten really good reviews in 2 seasons.
No, I'm the OG back with the 68 when freaking Godzilla and King Kong went after it. I saw it in the theater when I was 6 or 7 years old, man. It scared me for the rest of my life when some dude, again, it was all in English, but he was speaking Japanese, and a table went against this guy's neck and blood came out of his mouth, and I was scarred for life. I'll look it up. Anyway, all right.
I am a huge Godzilla fan, so I will definitely watch that race for that livery.
To prove he's a Godzilla fan, he sent me this photo.
Oh, yeah. Okay. My new house. I have this
That's your kitchen.
Giant Godzilla on top of my cabinet. Yeah. So there's proof right there.
Richie, do you think Maddie Gordon would be impressed if she showed up at his bungalow with that freaking Godzilla?
Why not, man?
I hope so.
Yeah, why not?
Why not, ladies? Yeah, big Godzilla guy over here. But no, I will. I swear. I get home from Amici Pizza around 10:30 on Saturdays. You said Saturday night, right?
Yeah,
I will walk in my door, drop off my crap, and I will turn on my TV and put on that race just because there's a Godzilla paint scheme.
Boom.
So.
But
and also Kimi Antonelli won the last race.
Yeah,
my paisan.
Paisan.
So I have a rooting interest there now as well. So
speaking of Mercedes, I also have their livery, and that is pretty sweet. It's a video.
Ooh,
that's good looking.
That's sharp.
Are we going to get popped from Formula One for airing these things?
No, because these are from the teams. So
Copy.
This isn't. Yeah.
So is Kimi driving that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That isn't legal front wing, by the way, but we'll get into that. That's for another show. But there you go. So I call bullshit. I'm not Cole. You say you're going to tune in. You're not going to watch. You're going to have to prove it to me because I'm not going to remind you that it's on.
Okay.
So you have to do it yourself, and you have to tune in all by yourself and watch the race.
He's
and
on a mission now.
All right. No, I really am. I was going to buy some merch too, but they're all sold out. Yep. And the shirt's like $52 for a regular
Godzilla
t-shirt.
merch?
Yeah.
Oh.
What time's the race start?
10 o'clock.
Tennis, yeah.
So that's what you guys ought to do. Either do a FaceTime call and just get both of you on the screen to where you can prove that you're watching the damn race. Not at the start, but like when we get into typical Formula One with about midway through the race where it's just see if he's still sticking around for when it gets into Formula One racing when there's no passing, right?
Exactly.
All right.
Hey, I was thrilled with that first race that we watched this year until Formula One kicked in. Are drivers still bitching about all these? Yeah, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
Aston is still vibrating, right? Yet the drivers keep driving.
They're a mess.
They're an absolute mess.
Yes. There were six DNFs, I think, in the last race in China.
I mean, I get there's a lot going on with this new race car in Formula One. I get it, but the whole idea is just to try and present some parity in a series that there's just never been parity. I think back marker was invented and came about with Formula One back in the day, right? The thing I forgot about was NASCAR and the implementing the horsepower. What was the headline that I saw?
Yeah. I was listening to Holler Talk today.
Yes.
And they pointed out that they will be looking into possibly extending the amount of tracks that are using the higher horsepower, lower downforce package to 1.5 mile intermediate tracks, but not this year. That was most likely something that might happen in 2027.
What would be the harm of opening up more tracks for that this year?
Okay, I was thinking about this. I agree, because there was a time in 2007 where they literally changed car bodies in the middle of the season. So why not change the package in the middle of the season too? I don't know.
I mean, it's not like engineers and crew chiefs aren't ready to pivot.
It's all finances. It's got to be, right?
Valid.
It's all finances.
But
It's always about the money.
But imagine, again, Rick Ware Racing having to dump all this or scrap all when you have 10, 15 cars that are living race to race. And oh, by the way, we're going to dump another change on you where it's going to cost you thousands of freaking dollars that you don't have, and your drivers still have to stay in Motel 6 when they go to Vegas.
God.
Right? Hey, Freak Nation, top of the show. I know you guys are anxiously awaiting Leah Pruett, the wife of Tony Stewart.
We've done 50 minutes today. This is kind of surprising.
I'm very
Awesome.
shocked. We
So
came in going, well, the 10-minute show.
This happens when you get 5 people in a room who like to yap, huh?
Yep.
I guess.
So, Freak Nation, we've started something. We're going to see if we can get it off the ground. It's called Black Flag Confessions, where it's not a 15-minute interview. It's a guest that will come in the studio and just spend some time with us. We kicked it off with Ron Capps. Then his driver, Matty Gordon, sat in that seat. Mm-hmm. We've had Casey Mears, which we're going to be dropping in the next couple of weeks, and Leah Pruett will drop in. Just be sure you follow us and like, subscribe, all of that with YouTube, because you will be able to see these in their link. So the whole Black Flag Confessions it's just it's a long form, as the kids like to call it, like Coco Samano. And there's
cinematic.
Yep, cinematic long form.
I haven't dropped that in a
baby.
while. Yeah, good call.
And I told Cody, man, I said, dude, this is 65 minutes long with Leah, and it flew by. This is only about 6-7 minutes of it, and there's so much in there that I want to get to. But with Leah Pruett back in the seat and kicking some ass, made it to the finals at Phoenix and lost to Sean Langdon. Tony Stewart went out in the second round. There's so much in this interview that we'll share it with you once we get it up on Official Speed Freaks on YouTube. Again, before we go anywhere, be sure you like and subscribe here at Official Speed Freaks. This is only a portion of it, and we cut in the middle of our conversation talking about her husband, Tony Stewart, and something that she breaks some news, evidently, according to her, she breaks some news here in the Freak Nation on a new role for her husband and father, Tony Stewart. Listen,
Absolutely
man,
love it.
The fact that women can pass footballs, it's incredible. And
Oh, you mean give birth?
yeah, give birth. It's like
I was like, what are we talking about?
I just
here?
no. Tony's pissing me off, man. It's like no, just the fact. It's like, bro, just give a little, man, will you? Just
No, okay, no. Well, I have to come to his defense because I
oh
don't.
hell, don't do
I
that
know.
now. You just hammered him.
No. Well,
No, she didn't.
No, that was not. That was
No.
not. Because Tony knew that he wasn't like right. You were afraid when you had her. Didn't know what to do. Tony didn't know, so we've been able to hire Hannah and hire the help to be able to do what we do. Hannah is my second parent. Like I could not race and do life without her. Because Tony knew his capabilities and what he would be able to do. That he set us up to be successful on that. But I will share this because Tony has only changed 2.5 diapers in 16 months.
Come on!
I know. Here's the fun part. You know what's the next stage? That's fine. If he clears this, this whole diaper
Potty
stage,
training.
he gets to be potty trained crew chief. Yeah,
Yes!
that's right. He doesn't know that yet. You guys are the first ones to know. I can't wait to drop that on him.
Wow.
I don't know how that goes.
Yep, right. That is Tony's job.
She's the queen, man. She had her crapping in the toilet in 2 days. Yeah, you did. You were the queen, man.
Watermelon is the savior there.
I was gone
because they
for
don't
a-
know they're drinking liquids because watermelon is so full of water, and all of a sudden
Man.
they let it go, and they're like, "Whoa, wait a minute!"
She was grabbing toilet paper and wiping. It's like, what just happened to this?
But we have a
2.5-year-old?
girl, so like she's saying, Dominic's a boy. That's Tony's job.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Sure. Any tips? Open for tips. Hotline. Anyone got them?
Wait, you want Tony to have assistants? No, let him.
Oh no,
learn.
this will for sure be a full team effort. I'll have to get my whole top fuel team probably to be
Takes
like,
a village. Neil, come over here.
All right. We're getting close to me bringing up the umbilical cord again, and we're not going to do that. Okay, we're not going to go umbilical.
But it was successful.
It was.
Listen,
Yeah.
I want to talk a little drag racing here.
Thank you.
A little bit.
All right, so you've got 2025 towards the tail end of 2025. Were there decisions between you and Tony that may have fluctuated about where he was going to land, what you were going to do, or Was it early in 2025? Like, no, I'm going to be in this rail come 2026. Were things evolving last year to where Tony is now, and now where you are?
Sure. No,
Right.
they were absolutely evolving. So at the start of 2025, I was like, I need to see how can operate at the
Yep.
track, right, with the kid. And then we get going, and just like we do with everything from performance of the car, what we test in the beginning of the year, might not put that in till the countdown, so to speak, or strategies. Same thing with partners. We're always having our partner conversations like come April, June, like we're talking about 2027 right now. No different. So I'm like, I need to be on top of this. So about early summer, I'm like, okay, do I feel confident in being able to return to the seat? And so with that, actually, no, see, again, my timelines, it's mom brain does. It was Pomona 1, and we are at team dinner, and we're already talking about what test sessions we're going to do this year. And, Neil and I were mapping them out, and I was like, this one, that. Okay, wow. I said, Richmond, I'd like to run at Richmond. And so Neil and I have already just chatted about it. Tony's in another conversation. Next thing you know, Tony knows that I'm testing his car, and, a couple months down the road. And that was because I wanted to be back in the car before I ever made a decision, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
That's valid.
I'd heard so many other stories of women that are in sports or equestrian or whatnot that do risky things, and they have a child, and like their whole mental changes and
that's real. Yeah.
Protection and all of that. And I go, am I going to be that person?
Yep.
So me getting back in the car at Richmond, which by the way, was the hottest race of the whole year. Oh God. And even Monday testing was even hotter. We were 148 degree track temp, I believe, is what I saw in some of our looking back as I prepared for this weekend.
Wow.
And so, yeah, all of that was good. I of course remembered I had a kid, but until I had to pump throughout the day, I was like, okay, my mind wasn't thinking about all that other stuff. Did have something special though. I mean, I'm probably the only one with 300-mile-an-hour milk at that time.
Yeah.
So then the next opportunity for me to test came after my decision. So I made my decision after that one. I was like, yep, okay.
After Richmond.
Okay. But
Because your brain checked the box.
my brain had
It's
checked the box, my KPIs inside the car, me smoking the tires, leaving staging, like all that still just natural. But now we're beginning summer, midsummer. I want to, but I don't want to just tell Tony, hey, you're out, because I care about where he's going to be. I've been around him when he's not racing something full time. Like that's not what he does. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, well, we're talking about options, but other teams aren't, there were definitely some other things we were talking about, but nothing was solidified. And so I told him, I'm not going to make this decision to get back in until we know where you're going.
Wow.
And he's like, he goes, no. If you're getting back in, I'll figure it out. And I was like, we are not the figure it out family. We are the strategy planning.
Right.
That's how we operate. So I made that first move. And Tony said that we'll figure it out. And we were on a plane together going somewhere. And it was truly a brief conversation. Then from there, we just worked on everything else.
Whoa.
And
that's awesome.
Yeah. And Freeman had been talking about a top fuel operation for many years. And again, right, everything that people see and what happens, there's dozens of things that happened before that. And so then it started a whole new loop. Okay, well, if Tony's going to drive, but it's got to be funded, who's going to fund it unless they know Tony's going to drive? Who's the crew chief? It's got to be a competitive car, but can't be competitive without the funding. It was like, which chicken and which egg first? And so that took really great teamwork on mine and Tony and Richard's part. And then Richard made that first big move, right, of purchasing Josh Hart's operation. And then from there we worked hard to get all the other pieces aligned. But yeah, that's how that came in. So to the world, when we announced in September that I was coming back in, it looked like, the Dodge Top Fuel team, Tony Stewart win regular season championship. Oh, Leah wants to get back in. That's not really how it happened, but that's how it looked, which whatever. I don't care. But it is nice to be in a stable, fully championship competition team. Back in my car, I've got all my same crew people. Well, one left to start a family in Wisconsin. But yeah, everything feels like home.
And Crasher, for the first time, they faced each other at Phoenix.
Yes. First qualifying round. That was pretty spectacular. Obviously they'd never faced each other. They had never gone head to head, because they had never both raced Top Fuel at the same time ever.
Mm-hmm.
He has been in her car the past 2 years. She was out to have a baby. Now she's back. Now he's got another ride. Boom! Lined up. First round qualifying. And she won. Because we are keeping track. Sorry, not sorry, Tony.
In that interview, we asked her about how bad does she want to kick his ass if they ever line up in eliminations. And her answer was spec-freaking-tacular. It's not necessarily what you would expect, but it's what you would expect. It's how she phrased it, which was fantastic. And again, we'll drop that on Black Flag Confessions coming up in a couple of weeks, the full 60-plus minutes of it. And one quick note, Richard Freeman, who she kept referring to in there, is the owner of Elite Motorsports, who owns numerous Elite Motorsports, which is the umbrella for a number of pro stock teams, and Tony Stewart's Top Fuel team. All right. So there you go, Freak Nation.
Will there be more fuelers with Richard Freeman?
I don't know.
I say yes. We'll see.
All right.
Yeah.
Freak Nation, every Sunday night, FS2, we're here for you, man. And, of course, on Official Speed Freaks. Before you get the hell out of here, make sure you subscribe to Official Speed Freaks on YouTube, where you can get all of this fantastic paraphernalia. In fact, just before this show, we dropped Cooper Webb interview from freaking Phoenix that is freaking relevant today. Cooper Webb, who is back in the hunt for another Supercross championship. A lot of noise going on about lappers when it comes to Supercross, getting in the freaking way of dudes running for $1 million championships.
Even when they're shown the blue flag.
Yep.
Not obeying the blue flag. But are there repercussions in Supercross? There are in IndyCar. There are in NASCAR. Are there repercussions in Supercross?
Evidently not. We've got Eli Tomac, Cooper Webb, and I think it was Ken Roxon, stating that there are issues going on right now.
That's not right.
Yep. All right, Freak Nation, we'll do it again next Wednesday night, or Wednesday afternoon, and, of course, Sundays, 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, Kokusumano, 10 o'clock. Saturday night, watching himself some Formula One in China.
That's right. That's right. Let's go Godzilla team Haas.
Bang. And with that, and again, the only single-car American team, and they're outside of Cadillac. Okay.
Haas, yeah, they're American.
Yeah, but that American driver, he is so good. Sorry.
Correct.
Not Bob Smith or
No.
Stan Wilcox.
Colton Herta is in Formula 2 trying to get that Cadillac seat in the future. Before we go, there was a bit of news this week where Formula 2 is thinking about adding some dates to their calendar, one of which would be Canada weekend, which is also obviously the same weekend as the Indianapolis 500, which Colton Herta seemingly already has a seat lined up to race the Indy 500 for.
He's the fourth Andretti car, and now that might not happen?
Yep.
I know Catherine Legg's calling. So that would be cool.
Yep.
But we do want Colton Herta and Catherine Legg in the Indy 500. Formula 2. Ugh.
Hook 'em. See you.